Hey guys, Group on the way back. I'm Aaron.
I'm Melanie.
And we are back with Batwoman. Last time on Batwoman, we had the capture of... Oh no, what's his name? Robles. Robles?
R-O-B-L-E-S. We had him captured.
We had the capture of Mr. Barney Rubble. And he had killed Lucius Fox. We got the explanation that he was working for someone to get a journal.
Yes.
That had information of
Batman
attack and stuff like that.
Yeah, for Elliott. Elliott's the one that hired him and wanted all the information for himself.
Because we had the detonator, which wasn't really the detonator. The detonator died years ago.
Right. It was just someone that worked his case.
Bad guy. So.
Unfortunately. And then we got big epic news, Aaron! The Joker's dead.
Oh. Well, that was the subject of the poll, though. So we'll see what people thought about that. So, in the conversation, because they had a talk with Kate and Luke about her killing Cartwright.
Right.
And...
Which I'm so glad that Luke finally knows.
There was a good comparison about Batman and whatnot, so... We got the information that Batman in the past 5 years ago, I think was what it was, somewhere in there.
I don't think we ever confirmed the number.
5 years ago, he killed Joker. So
right.
How did you feel about Batman killing the Joker? 36% said that they like it, while 63% said they did not like it.
Oh, wow.
So
it's like 2/3 that don't like it.
Yes, you're right. It's almost a whole 2/3. Ryan says, I'm fine with it. We were never going to see the Joker in this show, and it wouldn't be the first time Batman was responsible for the death in Batman stories. In 1989's Batman and the Dark Knight Return come to mind. Maybe that event is what led to him disappearing. It's been about 4 years now, as we are now a year after Elseworlds.
Okay.
So he kills him, is Batman for a little while longer, and then decides to leave. So it's possible it could be like a start of it, or... I don't think it could have been an idea of, in the Nolan series, the idea was kind of like he helped clean up and get Gotham to a good point that they didn't need him anymore, I think, was part of the idea. I think. But...
Sounds right.
Joel says, not surprised the Joker is dead. I wonder what's the count now of how many iterations of Joker have pushed Batman to kill him. Speedy Cat says it makes sense if that's what caused him to leave Gotham, so I'm fine with it. Besides, people come back from the dead all the time in comics, so it's not like the possibility of seeing the Joker will never happen.
That's true.
Alright, Crusader says, Batman's one rule has been broken so many times, it's almost just a suggestion at this point. From Keaton killing Joker and Penguin Goons, Kilmer killing Two-Face, Bale killing the League of Shadows members with an explosion, Affleck killing goons, Conroy in Crisis, and plenty of people in the comics. In a multiverse of Batman, not all of them can be non-killers, so I'm fine with it. I hope we find out what drove him to it. Maybe Robin's murder or Barbara's paralysis, who knows? Because I believe that was a part of a Killing Joke, right?
Oh, yeah, that was a good movie.
Right? Wasn't it like Joker, like, paralyzed Barbara? And it kind of set Batman over the edge a bit because they had like that love thing going on. Didn't he also like? I think he did more too, right? I think that was like really dark in that comic and stuff. Adam says, my problem with this plot point isn't that Batman killed the Joker. My problem is that it is the Arrowverse's version of the Batman killing the Arrowverse's Joker. That takes out any possibility for the Joker appearing on what many people consider to be the better DC Extended Universe. It also makes Batman look bad since we still haven't seen him. And the fact that the version who killed the most iconic DC villain is the official version we might see on TV makes it hard to be a fan of this show. I'm not sure if this is being put in to claim that Batwoman is a better character, but this is easily one of my least favorite moments in the Arrowverse. I'm fine with making Batman look more complex and dark, but not to this extent. I don't know if it puts in the light of being a better character, but I do think that bringing this up here shows that being a hero isn't always as easy as maybe you think it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, even Oliver killed early on and then struggled with becoming what he wanted to be. He wanted to stop being the Arrow, stop being the Hood, and start being like the Green Arrow. So I feel like it's a common thing.
Yeah, I liked it because Luke's like, hey, Batman was human too. Like, accidents do happen. Like, even though it was intentional and you regret it, at least now you regret it and that you are growing from this. Use it as a growing experience versus we don't know what happened to Batman. Yes, it might be one of the reasons why he left or whatever, but also at the same time, maybe he also grew from it and was like, hey, I need to retire. So we don't know the rest of Batman's story, but I do love the potential for Kate to grow from it.
So. Okay. Naveen says, I'm not really a fan of the killing, but I don't think he should have murdered him. I think it's a red herring. They might have cured temporarily the Joker, like from one of the comics. Also, Aaron, Batman's 3 years disappearance was at the start of the show, which actually started in 2018 around the Elseworlds crossover.
Okay.
Has it been another year since the Elseworlds thing?
I don't know. The time thing's been so tricky.
I've lost track of how we've traveled in time through this show, so. Thomas Newell just says, come on, it's CW. No one ever stays dead. I'm sure another timeline malfunction or something will bring him back.
Well, not just CW, like in Batman, everyone comes back. You fight them and kill them off twice.
Yeah.
So.
Angus Whitehead, I think we'll end with this one because this kind of hits some of the things I was saying, was I think it's good this way the show can deal with more actual Batwoman villains and not do what Arrow did and use or adapt other heroes' storylines. Yeah. That's one of the things that was brought up a lot in Arrow is a lot of his villains were the League, you know, some Batman storylines tossed in there, becoming Ra's al Ghul and whatnot. And with having some of those kind of things, even, I don't know if Green Arrow really fought Deathstroke that much either. Maybe some, because he was kind of just a vigilante mercenary dude that was all over the place. So I'm sure he did at some point. But he was like a big part of Arrow's background in this, you know? Like he was a big part of that background story of how Arrow became Arrow, Oliver.
Yeah, gotcha.
With all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, the other thing I think that you can fall into is if you have Batwoman and then, oh, well, you know, how do we pair Batwoman up to show that she's good and that she's strong and that she can do this and that? Oh, well, Joker was like the Batman's biggest villain. Let's have her fight the Joker, and then she beats him, and now look, she's just as good as Batman kind of thing. And it's like, well, she had her own villains, though. She had other things she was fighting. Yeah. That's his arch nemesis. Yeah. What is Batwoman's? And let's see her take on those things.
Right. Joker's not the bar. Don't let him set the bar.
Yeah.
Have her own bar.
Yeah. So, and especially with, like, Joker being the biggest nemesis of Batman, like, I want to know, like, I feel like I like knowing, like, okay, Batman was here. He was Batman for a long time. He's gone. He's done. You know, we might not ever see Batman doing Batman things. But we know that he did his history stuff. Things happened. The Joker was something that he had to deal with. And somewhere in there, those stories took place. And we just don't know them.
I love knowing that it's in the same universe. And just knowing that, you know, this kind of gives us a timeline of this is after Joker stuff. So now we have an idea of kind of what has happened in the history of this Gotham. So
yeah,
I liked it just for lore. Like, for lore's sake, I guess.
See, the Supergirl kind of hits me in a similar way where I'm not sure. I like it, but I don't know how much I'm going to like it. Because they also have been bringing in Lex, which has been a big Superman villain.
But the perfectly casted Lex.
No, he's great. I love him, and he does a great job. But I want to make sure Superman gets, like, that's his villain. I don't want to have to see Supergirl compared by fighting Superman's villains. Lena you have in here. If Lena was one of the villains from Supergirl stuff, let's have that be a thing. So I'm waiting to see if maybe you build this up, and with like the Superman Lois Lane kind of spin-off thing supposed to be happening, you send Lex over that way more so, and then you have Supergirl maybe against like Lena or some other villains and stuff like that. So anyway, those are just some thoughts. This might just be a name drop and it never comes to be anything. Or maybe down the line here on season 4 or something of Batwoman, maybe Joker comes back, maybe Batman's came back. I don't know. Maybe we'll see some flashbacks.
Who knows?
I don't know. But what I do know is that we need to watch this episode and see where we go next.
Yes.
You're another new proud owner of 7 hearts, 14 kidneys, 7 livers, 14 lungs.
Humans.
Some disassembly required.
She did it!
Yeah,
that's awesome!
Good, are we good? Good. I think there's a hidden cut in there, but I like it.
Yeah, like the camera movement's so disorienting.
But it keeps going. It's been one shot. But I'm pretty sure there's a cut going through that car. Not bad, not bad. I like it.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
Oh, and the slow-mo falls. Oh, ow.
There we go. So there's our cut. No, it was enough to be able to kind of see what was going on. It wasn't like super crazy and it was a little disorienting, but I feel like you would be that way with like a Batman attacking you kind of thing, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, I would be disoriented. Oh!
If that thing really is the cookbook of Wayne Enterprises' best kept secrets, we need to find where Tommy Elliott hid it.
Where Tommy Elliott hid it?
So
So
they
Tommy
assume that, yeah, he found it.
Thanks for stopping by, Double K. And tell your cousin the bells are
The bells are on. Dude, are we gonna push this guy into being... Ooh, how many doors with names on them? Any doors with names? None of these doors have names. Damn.
Why is Bruce Wayne's R&D guy telling Dear Diary about that?
because Bruce Wayne's Batman.
Why? What?
Curiouser and curiouser.
We didn't expect that.
And now
The
I
cousin?
want to know all the more.
Really? Just out into the street where every wanted poster will have my face on it.
She's gonna give him a new
What if we
face?
get you a new one?
Oh.
Oh, okay, get him a new
Yeah.
This
face.
is what it's like.
Yep. Ta-da! It's Mouse.
Didn't even know, did you?
Whoever your little heart desires.
I wanna be Bruce
To be
Wayne.
a deal.
You know?
Oh, dang.
Like, what if he wants Bruce Wayne's face?
Called it.
You're not going, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it's too dangerous.
Dangerous? I have been poisoned, stabbed, and nearly exsanguinated. And the fact that I have lived to use that word
That's
as a verb
so
is proof that I can look out for myself.
Exsanguinated?
With mobsters.
Which is why you need backup.
I already have it.
Poor Mary.
Oh, I'm just an honorary member, love. She's literally trained for this.
Yeah. I get it.
Seriously.
Mary's a
Something
doctor.
personal.
She's not there to handle damage
Thank you so much for all
control
of this.
things.
But she should still be part of the team and work.
It's fine. Stay
To
here
help.
and be on the comms, and then when she gets hurt, she can heal her.
Yeah.
But don't put her in damage. In danger, not damage.
Put her in
Tuxedo 1 is Cuban name for utility hub 1 level down. Red 1, there's an employee bathroom on the north end. Could be a good place for a wardrobe change.
Wardrobe change. Wait, does she have a wardrobe change?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Which one's Tuxedo one and which one's Red one?
Red one's Batwoman. Tuxedo one, I think, was the accent that the other one. Hey, this girl. Dang it, what did she do last time we saw her? She had a power, didn't she?
Oh, snap.
Checking out the competition. This is really good. It's called an... I sort of thought you'd fight harder to win me back, and I've regretted walking away ever since. That is very specific.
It's a hell of a drink. Just walking
Night
around, no one
vision?
notices.
Well, I guess it's supposed to be too dark.
Or it's just sitting on his desk.
Oh, no.
Awfully important books just leave lying around.
That's fishy.
Here it is.
Yep.
Is he gone? He hung himself.
Oh.
They hung Butler
Somebody. Yeah.
with his face.
Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men
Did he cut off his
put
face?
together again.
All I do know is that I really
Sophie.
wish my dad were here right now because he would know what to do, but he's not. Because he died protecting that journal. And now Kate and Julie might do the same, and I cannot add you to that list.
Look, I know no one trusts me to pull this off, but I trust you to keep me safe.
Get dressed.
Fine. Then you're gonna need some bad accessories.
What?
Don't worry, they go with everything.
Bat boots?
to Vasily Kazahov. You are the proud owner of Batwoman's very own grappling gun.
Oh man, they're bidding off all of her gadgets.
Let's face it, the reason you're all here.
The Batwoman.
Give you the Scarlet Knight herself.
They didn't take off her mask, huh? You figured that would have been the first thing you do, right?
$2 million. $2 million. Do I have 2.5? Come on, do I have 4?
$10 million.
Look at her boots.
She looks awesome. He's coming.
Magpie.
I'm like, what are we looking at?
She just comes in taking a thing. Oh man, what? She can just see it.
That's
with
awesome.
a random flashlight.
Shiny.
People will pay a premium for a piece of the bat.
Luke, now!
Oh! Oh! Don't go for the. Get the chain. Oh! The gun. Oh! Well, big guy down. Okay.
Oh!
Man, what is the SRR thing? That could have been a cut, but that's good.
That was cool. I like that.
You're out, Gunner. Oh! Matrix! Oh! Dang. How many birds have claws?
It's awesome that she can retract those.
Yeah. What if it's not the real one?
I was gonna say, what if it was a decoy?
She got that real quick. Ninja vanish.
Look at it. Look at. Is it the right thing?
I hope so.
It's because I've already lost one sister. And the thought of losing you too, I can't, Mary.
Aww.
I guess I just have to get used to the fact that you are a total badass.
Badass.
To be part of the bat
Be
team.
one of your real estate assistants?
I believe they prefer to be called associates.
Okay. All right.
You could definitely say that.
And apparently Batwoman was here, which is super weird because the last time I saw Batwoman
Aw,
was with you.
she's putting it together.
I knew that. But I could give you a ride home.
Oh, smooth.
After tonight, I was heading to get a drink. Your place still open?
Nope.
Nope.
It's not open. Oh! As long as she doesn't steal the journal back or something.
I know. I don't trust her, but I don't know if that's because, like, seen her in previous shows or anything, or, like, if she just has that vibe.
The back gift. What's in the middle? Just a rock?
Do they never clean down here?
I mean, how much are you gonna clean a cave?
I mean, you can at least trim the vines.
What?
Okay, look. When Bruce first showed me this place,
Bruce Wayne.
Luke!
Batman.
okay,
He's like, how do people not realize this?
It's under the Wayne building. Kate's his cousin. She is gone.
We used Martha's necklace to get in. Oh, she is gone.
I hope she's not gone and like took the journal and the journal was here or something.
Crap. Where's she going? I like that jacket. Is that Sophia?
Hope you know you cost me a really hot girlfriend, Magpie.
Magpie. Dang it.
Again. I'm done being advanced scout for Magpie.
That makes
I thought you
sense,
were leaving
okay.
Your sister.
For her sister.
I'm pretty sure I just did.
Oh, they're siblings.
I understand. There's been an unforeseen setback. I don't have my hands on the journal yet, but I assure you I will.
She's after the journal too?
And then it'll be yours.
Crucial detail. Lucius Fox wrote the entire journal in code.
Yes, Lucius! You genius of a man! Yes. I bet Luke is the only one who could be able to decipher it or something. Oh, Lucius, you're brilliant man, yeah. Well, a lot occurred during this episode.
Yeah. A lot of questions.
I mean, at least the Regan thing, we kind of understand why she's doing what she's doing. Hers is, and it makes sense because last time we saw her, I believe, was at the museum, like, benefit thing that they were doing. That Magpie was trying to steal, like, a necklace or something from.
Right.
Which makes sense, that she's, like, an advanced scout and whatnot.
That sucks, because I liked her the first time that we saw her, and the first relationship that they were building. It was good, because she seemed genuinely nice, you know? And intuitive. And
the interesting thing is why they made Kate a mark.
the first time?
Or any time.
Well, probably because they were after Martha's necklace, right? Magpie
Yeah,
stole...
but this time here, like, falling for a mark and going for the journal. I wonder how they knew that she had the journal, except for the fact that she told her with the umbrella thing, but at that point, I don't know. I was just wondering how they pinned her as a mark right off the bat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless just because she has relations to the Wayne building and Wayne Enterprise and stuff. Which, yeah, I figure that, I don't know, maybe you don't realize Bruce Wayne is Batman, depending on how he acts normally, but I don't know. If you know Kate is Batman, or Batwoman, then just the things of like Mary being like, oh, it's underneath Wayne Tower, and Kate is his cousin, and how would this be here without Wayne knowing? Because it looks very expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's some connections there where
maybe
you would
they
know.
would have thought that Bruce Wayne was helping take care of Batman, you know?
Maybe.
Like
he isn't Batman, but he helps fund him.
Right.
Maybe.
Maybe it was that thought process.
Because also, Alice is surprised to it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I really didn't think she would be that surprised.
No.
Before she was like, wait. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It surprised me as well. And this is the first time that it's really happened this season, right?
Of people finding out Bruce Wayne? I think they did like some of the crossover stuff, right?
Yeah, probably in the crossover stuff, but just like it happened twice in this episode, which felt kind of important, I guess.
Maybe. I do feel like they're pushing. I don't know how quickly we're gonna get it, but the bandages on Tommy Elliott. I think they're pushing him to be this one villain named Hush. I think is his name.
I'm not too.
I know he was in comics and he was like a Batman villain, but I mean he was Bruce Wayne's like kind of counterpart, rich and whatnot. But I remember the look of him was like this bandaged face like that, and then he had like, I think he had like a jacket that he wore, which was kind of reminiscent of. There was some point when they were wrapping his face up here, and I think it was towards the end of this scene. At some point they zoom back, and I can't remember if it was here or later, but they had like a coat hanger and had kind of like this, kind of like this big jacket with like the fur on the inside and stuff.
Okay.
And it was when I was seeing that, and then also in the next shot that they had his like face entirely wrapped up, which makes sense they're doing that because they took his face to fake his death.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure there was a villain named, I want to say Hush, I think. But the villain had a look of like this kind of coat with like this kind of face, like all just wrapped up with bandages. I don't think he had any powers though. I think he was like
manipulative.
Well, I think he was like, and he used like weapons and gadgets and guns and stuff. But I mean, I think most Batman villains are typically that way, you know?
Yeah.
Like they aren't really super powered. Like Mr. Freeze has his machine that keeps him cold, you know, his suit, and he shoots with the freeze gun. But he doesn't have like ice powers.
No, they're all very human. Like, they're not like aliens or super friends.
Joker doesn't have superpowers,
Right.
or the closest one I guess is Bane with kind of like that Venom thing, but he just is like super strong. So
true.
But yeah, I think.
But even like with Bane's backstory, you're still like, oh, he's human, but he got tortured, you know, like to be this very strong villain.
So I'm trying to remember if our Q&As before talked about Tommy Elliott, if he is Hush, like if that is the character name, because I don't know who Hush was, but I remember the look of Hush. So. But anyway, if that's the case, they might be pushing him towards this, whether or not Tommy Elliott himself is that character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Like I said, I think it was a Batman villain, but it might have been more of like, Deathstroke, where he just kind of went where he went to. But,
yeah,
I think it was a comic series. I remember an image, I think it was at Asylum Comics. There was a comic when I was looking through stuff, and it was one of those half and half face things. So like it was like half Batman and half like all wrapped up in bandages. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe Q&As will tell us. That's possible too.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. But if they do, then it makes sense that they kill him so that he has freedom to kind of go out and be what he is. But that's the thing too. If they're gonna give him a new face, I don't know what this series will do with it as far as him being bandaged up like that or having a new face entirely.
Right, and who is he going to look like? And
yeah.
Does that mean that we're going to replace this actor? Because I love this actor.
You like Tommy Elliott?
He's Nolan from Revenge that I watched forever ago.
Isn't Alice from, was it Revenge?
Yeah, Reign.
Rain? That's ours.
She was
show.
Queen Elizabeth in Reign.
Gotcha. I liked her in the Commander Kane conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she had some very good, I don't know. Her performance is pretty good, you know?
I love her acting. She's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, I've always heard that it's more fun to play a crazy character because you get to have fun, you know, versus playing like someone that's normal or solemn or anything like that. It's just kind of like, you got to be normal and solemn. Versus, like, if you are playing a crazy character, you get to, like, move your body in different ways and like create different faces and just like be crazy with it. So I can tell that she's having a lot of fun, and I love watching her because she does crazy so well.
Okay. Otherwise, the things I had was
outfits were amazing.
Boots were nice. I liked all the boots.
I loved all the outfits during this episode. Like, there was so many good outfits. Like, and I love that Mary is going to be part of the team, so she gets to be like the costumer. So everyone's going to always
Everyone looks good.
Amazing.
I liked the club fight was pretty good. The first fight in the very beginning was really good. I liked that a lot. I wonder where are the credits at? I'm wondering, because like I liked some of the camera movements, and some of the things reminded me a bit of like Bamford team.
That's what I was thinking, especially with the camera going through the car at the beginning.
That part maybe not so much. Mine is in Arrow they really started doing the kind of things, and they did some of those types of motions a few times. And I just wonder if the stunt I just want to see who did their co-starring. Stunt coordinator was Marshall Virtue. So
okay.
I'm pretty sure stunt coordinator James Bamford is who was Arrow's, and I wasn't sure what they would do with him, like where he would go.
With Bamford,
having been Arrow finishing out and whatnot. Mm-hmm. If he had somewhere else he was going to go, if they were going to bring him over and have him work here. But I liked the very first shot. It had a very it was kind of disorienting a little bit.
Yeah,
in the way the camera moved. But I think it works because it's dark and you're fighting Batman or fighting Batwoman. I feel like it would be disorienting, you know? The way it's like showing up everywhere.
That's true, yep. It was very dizzying. Like I felt motion sick.
But I think that they had a few things where they had like some longer shots, but you cut, like that right there was kind of a whippy movement going into the car. I feel like you could have had a cut into that, and then you just pull it through because that's where you started, you know. So, so it looks to me like it's like a faux one shot, I don't think it's a full actual one-shot uncut, but it was pretty cool. It had you in the action. The camera was part of the choreography, which was really good. So I like that.
And you can tell the cameraman was the choreography. You know, you saw the way that he was walking. He had to walk through the car.
Yeah, that's
him.
That's what I mean with like the camera being the part of the choreography. Because sometimes I feel like in the beginning of the season, you got like, all right, we're gonna put the camera here, go. All right, we're gonna put the camera here, go.
Sometimes
and then
you'd have it on the what's it called, the roller, where you put the camera on and you roll.
Yeah, sure,
over.
but you'd have a, you know, just having the idea of we're gonna work this camera in with the choreography with here goes the fall, move it down and do this and follow and keep more of what's going on in your shot rather than just like, all right, get a bunch of shots of the fight going on and then we're just gonna cut between them of whatever kind of looks good and we're done. Whereas I think after Crisis they started doing a few more of these like longer one-shot kind of moments, and I feel like they feel much better, especially as far as the fight and as far as like, oh, it's Batwoman, you know?
Yep, that's true. The last thing I have is, what the crap is going on with Julia?
Yeah. I mean, in this episode, they had Kate saying that she got pulled away from the SIR to join the Crows.
Right.
But she hasn't been with them for 6 months. So was she here before working? I don't know the time. I don't know when the time jump happened exactly and when she was here before. So was she here before looking for the journal? Is she working for the Sophia person that we keep hearing about?
Maybe.
Is she working? I don't know. I don't know who she's working for.
Maybe her dad has gone to the dark side. Maybe her dad wants to help keep it safe.
I don't know.
Is it dad or uncle?
This is the daughter.
The daughter?
Right.
Okay.
I think.
So maybe her dad wants it back to make sure it stays in safe hands. Maybe she's still a good guy.
I don't know. I don't want to have someone else that we're thinking, oh, well, we can trust them and now they're bad or anything. So I'm wanting to have something else there. Whatever the case may be, but I don't know what it'd be. Let's jump into Q&As and see some other thoughts and whatnot. And see what people think. Maybe they have some ideas of maybe what Julia's up to. Guys, you can submit questions every week during the live shows on Twitter @BlindWaveProd. Just make sure you use a hashtag. Typically, it's the show's name, Q&A. So this one's Batwoman Q&A. We also do Supergirl, Flash Legends, all that. So, alrighty. We have Roth who says, don't you feel disappointed that since all the heroes exist in the same world after Crisis and the shows haven't really done anything to take advantage of that with the second half of their seasons? So how do you feel about, since everything's now on one planet, like...
Yeah, I'd like to see more references. Like, at the beginning, we saw, like, newspaper articles of, you know, like, Flash, what Flash has done in Supergirl's world, you know? Like, I would like to see something that kind of ties us into the same world.
Yeah, as far as the interaction between heroes and stuff, I know particularly this season, they've been trying to get, you know, everything filmed and done, and then they had issues with the shutdowns and stuff going on, and they're not, I don't think any of them are going to the full season of episodes they wanted to go to begin with. So, hopefully, next season, they can get things kind of tied up, you know, finish off the story. Batwoman in particular, you really want to focus on getting her story, you know, really going. This is her origin season. So you really want to get a good feel of what she is before bringing in a whole bunch of crossovers and all that kind of stuff necessarily. Crisis was super early in the season for a character that we didn't really know, but yet she's a Paragon kind of thing, you know? So, I mean, even still, we had the Paragon stuff with, like, Superman, you know, Brandon Ruth. We didn't know that Superman at all, except for, I mean, I guess we did because of the movies, because he was from the movies.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess you know that, but I would be looking more towards next season and what they do, and, you know, I don't know how well planned all of it was, and if everyone knew exactly once Crisis is done how things would be playing out, so you plan ahead to not maybe have too much interaction, because you don't know what the interactions are going to be able to do. And then, okay, next season, hey guys, we're all on one planet. Here's how Crisis affected everything. Because I imagine you have some people working on Crisis, but you probably don't have all the writers from all the shows together on it all.
And collaborating. That's true.
You know? So I would say you take your plans and be like, all right, let's kind of limit some ideas here. We don't know exactly how Crisis will end yet. You know? So you don't dive into that. Possibly.
Yeah,
it's
but
possible.
still, you could write in or prop drop, you know? Like, all it took in Supergirl was just a newspaper article that just flashed, you know? And you just saw that Flash was in the same universe.
When was this?
This was
like
like
what are you
right
talking about?
after Crisis.
Like the episode when they all combined? Because that happened like immediately.
No, I thought there in Catco you saw that someone was writing an article about Flash.
I don't remember. I remember it like in the last of the Crisis episodes when they all found they were together and stuff, and there was a bunch of articles and different things happening, and they've been doing it for years, kind of thing. So I don't know, but
I would like to see something tying this into the same universe. You know, like Gotham has always felt so separated from everyone.
The best things with there would be to be able to combine what's going on currently. Kind of really makes it stick much better. So, like I said, I would look for it more next season.
But honestly, Batwoman's always been on the same Earth as Arrow and Flash.
Do I? Batwoman? Yeah.
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 And we've not really had much.
Well, I mean, you never really heard much about Batman on Arrow and Flash. You heard about Vigilante Friend and stuff from Supergirl.
Yeah.
You didn't hear about it here. So, you did have a Bruce Wayne nod to Arrow. Oliver was talking as a mayor, I think it was, and it's like, when you think Bruce Wayne puts on a mask and runs and fights crime, no, that's ridiculous. I'm definitely not the Arrow. You know, he's not a vigilante. You know, it was one of those kind of ideas.
Gotcha.
But they didn't say, do you think Bruce Wayne is the Batman? You know, or anything like that.
Yeah.
So. But no, I would say like maybe with the way things have been playing out, especially this year with Crisis, that was a big thing. Lots of things maybe kind of hindered some crossover ideas. Maybe next one would be more so, because you also had like. You have Batwoman trying to start up with the first season. You have Arrow finishing their last season. You know, you only really have then Supergirl, Flash, and Legends that are in the middle of their stuff. So let this kind of pan out, and then I would look for more cool interaction things, hopefully next season of all that. I mean, you didn't even get a ton of that really with Arrow and Flash, and they'd been around for a while on the same Earth. And you know, like there was one where it's like, hey, when you get to Nana Parbat, oh, hang on, the Flash took him there, and the Flash left. You know.
Yeah, but I feel like you still would see like newspaper.
Not really. Not a lot. Not as much
names.
Not as much as you think. I mean, you might get the name drop of like, what about Barron's? He's busy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not something you need every time.
No,
you know?
but at least.
So
like,
I'm not worried about it this season. For me, I don't need it this season. That's what I would say. For
All
me,
right.
What do you think?
I wouldn't mind just seeing like a newspaper laying down on the ground that says, you know, Star City, blah 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 blah.
But you said we had that, right?
And not Batwoman.
Oh, so in Batwoman specifically though, you want it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that Batwoman's the only one that's been really kind of left out. Everyone else is kind of addressed that they've been connected somehow, but Batwoman.
The first few episodes after the Crisis, they referenced it. They referenced things that happened and stuff. They had to, for sure. They had another fake sister coming in. Remember?
Yeah, but they never referenced, like, the other people. Like, Supergirl, not Batwoman.
In that kind of sense, do they need to? Because they've always been there, so it's not going to be a big deal where they got to mention it. You know what I mean? So it just depends on what you're wanting. And over in Supergirl, over in Flash, like, I don't feel yet we've had any major events that would make headline news over in the other ones, maybe. Like, that could be a thing.
Maybe.
So, like, if there's a giant earthquake over in National City and buildings are falling apart, that might make some headline news over in Gotham, you know? So maybe we'll get to that.
I guess if we just had, what's her name, Vesper? If she just said something about, like, Supergirl or, like, just name drop something with what's going on in one of the other locations. That would just be a simple, easy peasy, boop.
So you don't like the fact that they said, hey, look, Batwoman's a lesbian and what's her name wrote it? Cara Danvers.
Oh, yeah,
that's not good enough for you?
That's one of the crossovers, yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, you just now had something pop up to your mind.
Well, I thought you were talking about, like actual relations to, like, I don't know, something more, like...
No,
like this,
like
this,
that
this
works
here,
out
this
great.
here,
I like things like that.
this here is saying, like, we haven't had any crossover stuff going on.
I thought they just meant not.
Right? The show hasn't really done anything to take advantage of this with the second half of their seasons, considering that they're all in the same world. And what I was saying is they don't need that right now. You have the first season and the last season of a show. You need to get those finished off and grounded. The only things you really have is Supergirl Legends and the other one. And though they've mentioned people like Sarah going to Star City and stuff like that.
See, I like things like that. I agree with you. Believe it or not, I do agree with you then that we do not need many crossovers like what Barry and Stephen Amell, Barry and Ollie would do. So, like, I don't think we need that. But
so, to answer your question, I'm not disappointed. I think I'm looking forward to that next season when they've had more time to be able to plan out perhaps when we can do interactions with a season planning on that. Because this one had interacting with Crisis, which is a huge crossover. And I feel like that took a lot of their energy for any kind of crossover tie-in stuff. And then since then, it's been like, let's finish this season for Batwoman, like specifically. And then all the other ones are just dealing with getting things done because of virus things and all that kinds of stuff. So it's been a crazy year. I'll look for it next year.
Yeah, because Flash did it. Flash had, what's his face? I love him. Diggle. Flash had Diggle in for a couple of episodes.
It was the episode right after Crisis.
And then
right after Crisis, there was a lot more of like, we got to clean up a few things here and here on these episodes and stuff. So, Dobby says Julia went rogue and keeping it from the Bat team. Maybe Sophia, I don't know what her name is, kidnapped her friend. Not much time left to make her important. Is she secretly bad, forced by bad guys, or good, but doing things the others wouldn't understand?
So, yeah, I don't know. I have all the same options. I'm like, is she looking for the journal for her dad to make sure it stays safe? Is she working for someone like Sophia and she has leverage being held over her?
Maybe.
Or is she actually cooperating with her and they are on the same side, same bad girl side?
Well, they claim that she went rogue and left the SRR. So, I don't think she's doing something for her dad to keep the journal safe, because it would be safe with Luke and Batwoman if they had it in the Batcave that no one knows about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's a thing. So...
Not unless he wants it because he's with Batman.
What? No. Yeah. It's ridiculous. The stupidest thing you ever said.
Why?
What do you mean he's with Batman?
Like, if her dad
Is he alive?
Alfred?
Yeah, I don't remember what they said about him.
I don't think they said that he's dead.
I don't know. He'd be old.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would go with either she has somehow been tainted or she's being forced. And if her dad's alive, maybe Sophia has him and she's doing it to save him.
And we get to meet him?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'd like that.
Speedy Cat says, I don't know if you caught this, but this episode was directed by James Bamford. Ah! There we go. I looked for stunt coordination thing, but I didn't see the director. Damn. Does that happen? That happens after the title, right?
I guess we were looking at subtitles.
I tend to not look at...
I don't tend to. I just don't because I don't know anyone's name.
Well, I tend to not try to look at, especially the intro titles, because if there's a special guest, if Diggle showed up, you know, they would put guest starring. And
but they wouldn't put Diggle, so I wouldn't know who it was.
I don't want to see that stuff and be like, oh my gosh, you're guest starring Stephen Amell. Like, oh damn, Stephen Amell's going to be here.
The subs are like right over top of it.
For a few of them. But that makes much more sense than... Because I was like, man, that really kind of felt Bamfordy, you know, in the way it went through. But all right, well, good job to this Marshall guy. You know, like this stunt coordinator kind of working with it and getting it to kind of play out in a good fashion. But that makes sense why especially the opening shot. Opening shot felt good. All right, I want to see, just to make me feel better.
Yeah.
Developed by.
Somebody, because can't see because it's
written
subtitles.
by. Okay, written by, directed by. Is that next? Directed by James Bamford. Dang.
You barely
5
see
minutes
it.
in. It was so quick. No wonder I didn't notice that. That was just gone. 5 minutes in, I wasn't even watching credits by then. No. That took a long time to get to. It's crazy how recognizably good his fight scenes are. Hope he sticks around and directs more episodes. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my first thought was Bamford, because even afterwards I was talking about like the way the camera kind of did these, like pan things, and I just recognized a bit more from Arrow. But whenever I actually went to stunt coordinator and didn't see anything, I was like, well, okay. I didn't even look to see that he directed. I should have done that. Thank you, Speedy Cat. I appreciate it. And yeah, I hope he does more, because I was hoping maybe they'd bring Bamford and his team here, because I don't know who all worked on Arrow, but Arrow got into some really good fights, and I feel like Batwoman, out of the superhero shows they have now, is the closest related to that kind of combat style.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna have that fighting at Flash or Supergirl.
No, because they're superheroes.
Maybe Legends, because they never use powers. So you could maybe bring them over there, but Batwoman being the first season, put them there, get some good fights, because Batman should have some good fights. You know, Batwoman should have some good fights.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Mel says, how do you like Alice's gang of misfits? Comprised of herself, Mouse, Tommy Elliott, and Magpie. And do you that she's added any more members to it? Do you think that she's added any more members to it? Or like any other members from Arkham that we'd want added to it? I mean, I like that she has this little group that, you know, number one is from kind of villains that we've already dealt with.
Right, yeah.
So that's cool. You're kind of getting a little like rogue gallery thing going on and stuff. So, is there anyone else that she would have added? I mean, so much time was spent with Alice and Mouse. So I don't feel like we got a bunch. We did have the Executioner, but I believe he died. Right? Didn't Kane shoot him or something? I remember them in the court. Remember in the courtroom, and the gas was filling the room and stuff too. Like I remember that. But I don't know. I don't have anyone else right now. I don't want them to just toss in someone we've never seen before. I want to get introduced. You know, like if the Detonator would have been a real bad guy, and they would have caught him, and then Detonator would have been tossed in the group, I would have liked that.
Right.
But I don't just want. All right. Well, here's Scarecrow. Like, wait, no, I'll give Scarecrow an episode and then bring him into that group, you know?
Yeah. Well, I like how her team is setting up, because I'm with you. I think they're giving an origin story, kind of, to Tommy Elliott and developing him into something else.
Yeah,
so I like that we are spending a lot of time there. Is she going to add many more people? Yeah, she's going to recruit everyone in the asylum, you know? Like... She has everyone at her expense, but I think this is mainly to build up Tommy Elliott to see where he's going to go too.
And if she can utilize some kind of tracking method and influence of like, well, we got the doctor, so you're gonna have to listen, or else we're gonna say you're this or that or whatever.
Right.
Like it's not like they're working together. It's she's controlling people at her will to do the things she wants to get her plan in place.
Right.
Logan says, do you think maybe Julie is working for Bruce? I don't care what anybody says. I trust her completely, and I would never doubt Alfred's daughter.
See, that's the same line that I was thinking.
I don't know. I don't. I imagine she's working for someone who has something over her. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, but I don't want to believe that. But I guess that's a good reason to, like, you know, get rid of her. If we have too many females, like too many characters at once, get rid of one because she's a bad guy.
They just got rid of Regan.
No, not really. She might be back.
All right, and then Naveen says, what other arsenals do you think Kate should have during her time as Batwoman? I feel that she should have dual-wielded pistols, rubber bullets, of course, since she is a great marksman and a batasser.
Yeah, batasser.
And whose face does Tommy have on? So whose face will Tommy take?
I don't know.
She was making it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what if would he want to be Bruce Wayne? He has this obsession with Bruce Wayne and being best friends, you know? Could they sew up a face? Or do you take someone not recognizable? Like, not someone we know. You're not going to give him Alfred, Commander Kane, you know, nothing like that. But we know that she has made someone's face without their face before. Because they made Commander Kane before with Mouse.
Right.
With Commander Kane still having his face, you know?
But then if
honestly,
they do Bruce Wayne, then you cast Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
So that would leave him in a pickle. I don't think it's going to be that.
With that also being said, Alice did some very mean things. I'm sure she could have got some skin from something else instead of taking his face literally to make his face. You know?
Yeah.
But maybe it was like, well, we're in a crunch. I don't have a lot of time. I need this.
Yep.
So,
pretty much. You're going to get a new one on.
I don't know what face he's going to have, though. I'm going to go with an idea of it's someone we don't know. That way he can blend in much better rather than being, I don't know, somebody we've seen already.
I'm kind of liking the idea of
Sophie's ex-husband.
of this Hush guy, because he's going to wear the mask, the face temporarily just to get out, but then he's going to keep his face wrapped, so then we can keep this actor.
I get you.
So I don't think the face is really going to matter. It's going to be a nobody. But I want to keep this actor.
Hush. Batman. Here, I'll show you the thing I'm thinking of it, and I can find. See these here, though? Like, they had, like, these kind of things here.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
But he has kind of like this big coat, which kind of reminded me of that coat they showed. And then his face is, like, all done up.
I don't know why the whole time I was thinking about the guy from, the DC app. What's that show called?
Oh, maybe it wasn't a comic I saw. Maybe this is a Blu-ray. So maybe this is actually like a DC movie.
Ooh, that should be... Look, Scarecrow's in it.
Well, this shows Harley, Bane, Catwoman, Scarecrow.
Nice.
But yeah, that looks like Poison Ivy. That looks like Joker. But I imagine that must be Hush, not Joker. But he just has a big smile. But if it's this guy's kind of crazy, so I don't know. But maybe that's what it was. Maybe it wasn't a comic, or maybe it's both. Maybe it was a comic and a movie. But anyway, that's whenever I saw that and like saw that coat thing, I thought about there's some guy that did this.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So I think that's what they're gonna do with him. But I'm curious to see. I don't know if Tommy Elliott is the identity of Hush.
Tommy Elliott. I just know that name though. It's driving me nuts.
Well, my last name's Elliott, and you probably know Tommy Oliver. He's a Power Ranger. We need a poll. I think the poll should be Julia. Do you think Julia is good and they're just tricking us? Right? Like right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is she bad girl, which Sophie would be happy, or is she being manipulated by a bad person? I'll give you an other just in case there's something I'm not thinking of, but I feel like those are the three things. She's good, she's bad, or she's good but being manipulated by bad. I feel like those are the three things you really need, right?
Right.
So should I put another in there?
Yes.
All right, I'll give you another just to have an escape of something I'm missing. But don't vote that if your other three pick. So Melanie thinks she's working for, I don't know, Alfred or something, Bruce Wayne, something weird. I'm going to go with the idea that she's being manipulated by Sophia, so
then we can bring her back into the storyline.
I don't think that she's bad because she's a Pennyworth.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're going with the Alfred idea? Is that where you're going?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so silly stuff.
I can see Alfred. Yeah.
Make sure you guys vote over at patreon.com/blindwave. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the future episodes of this and all the other CW shows that we cover here. Also, we have tons of shows coming out every day of the week. And if you want to see next week's episode on a lot of those, vote in polls, see full length, all that stuff's available over at patreon.com/blindwave. You can check that out. Vote in the poll for this. We'll talk about that next episode.